Welcome back to the Observable Unknown. Before we speak, we reveal. Before we decide what to show, the face has already answered. Tonight we turn toward a phenomenon that unfolds faster than thought, the fleeting movements of the face that escape intention, the expressions we do not choose and often do not know we have made. In the mid-20th century, psychologists began to notice something quietly unsettling. Human beings were expressing emotion even when they believed they were concealing it. In the 1960s, Sylvan Tompkins, a psychologist at Princeton, proposed that facial expressions were not learned social habits alone. They were biologically patterned responses tied to innate affect programs. Joy, anger, fear, disgust, surprise, and sadness each had a recognizable facial signature appearing across multiple cultures. Emotion, Tompkins argued, announces itself through the face before language or reasoning can intervene. The observable unknown here is not what we feel, but how quickly the body declares it. Building on Tompkins' work, psychologist Paul Ekman conducted cross-cultural studies in the 1960s and 1970s, including field research in Papua New Guinea. His findings challenged the assumption that facial expressions are culturally arbitrary. Even individuals with no exposure to Western media reliably recognized core emotional expressions. More striking still was Ekman's identification of microexpressions, facial movements lasting a fraction of a second, often less than 1/25th of 1 second. Too fast for conscious control, too brief for deliberate performance. Microexpressions emerge when an emotion is activated but inhibited, when the nervous system reacts before social masking takes over. The face speaks and then is silenced. Neuroscience later clarified why this happens. Research using electroencephalography and functional magnetic resonance imaging has shown that emotional processing in the amygdala and related limbic structures precedes cortical regulation. The emotional signal reaches facial motor pathways before the prefrontal cortex has time to evaluate consequences or social context. By the time the mind decides what to say, the face has already answered. Studies led by Ralph Adolphs at the California Institute of Technology demonstrated that individuals with amygdala damage struggle to recognize fear in others' faces. The circuitry that reads expression is deep, fast, and largely automatic. The observable unknown here is sobering. Conscious self-presentation is a late arrival. Humans are remarkably sensitive to these fleeting signals even when we cannot articulate what we have seen. Experiments by Nalini Ambady at Tufts University showed that people form accurate judgments about competence, trustworthiness, and emotional state within milliseconds of exposure to a face, often without knowing why. The nervous system detects incongruence, a smile that does not reach the eyes, a tightening of the jaw beneath polite speech, a flash of contempt vanishing before it's acknowledged. We feel the truth of a matter before we can name it. This is not intuition as mysticism, it is perception operating below language. The effort to suppress emotional expression carries physiological consequences. Psychologist James Gross at Stanford University demonstrated that emotional suppression increases sympathetic nervous system activation. Heart rate rises, blood pressure increases, cognitive load intensifies. The face may remain composed, but the body pays the price. Long-term suppression has been linked to diminished memory, reduced emotional clarity, and increased stress-related illness. The observable unknown here is ethical as much as it may seem biological. What we ask people to hide does not disappear, it simply relocates. Culture teaches us when to restrain expression, which emotions are acceptable and which are dangerous, which must be hidden and which may be revealed. Yet microexpressions persist beneath these norms. Anthropological work in affective display rules confirms that while cultures differ in expression management, the underlying facial signatures remain consistent. The mask varies, the musculature does not. The tension between social performance and biological truth is written across every human face. The face is not a liar. It is simply faster than the story we tell ourselves. Tonight, notice the expressions that pass across others before words arrive. Notice your own reflection when emotion flickers and then vanishes. These are not failures of control, they are traces of honesty. If this interlude stirred in your reflection, I'd love to hear from you. You can write to me at theobservableunknown@gmail.com or text your reflections or questions to 336-675-5836. And wherever you have listened to this podcast, please consider leaving a rating and a review. Your words help this work find those who are listening closely. Thank you for attending to what appears before intention. Until next time, this has been The Observable Unknown.